Hello, my name is Scott Freese, and thank you for tuning into this presentation on my multimedia campaign project for the Rise and Shine Cabaret Cafe. I am a firm believer in supporting local businesses within one's own community, which is why I thought it would be appropriate to base my capstone project on assisting one of our hottest new spots in the Parkland area. The points of discussion for today's presentation will go as follows. What is the Rise and Shine Cabaret Cafe? Getting to know the demographic, employing a strategy, and future prospects and goals. The Rise and Shine Cafe is the newest addition to businesses located on Garfield Street, right next to our Pacific Lutheran University campus. The building that this business moved into has always been a cafe for the 4 years that I've lived here. However, we've seen 3 different cafes open up in this spot and eventually close down within a year. This has been the most unique atmosphere that we've seen in this building, exhibiting a 1920s Prohibition-era aesthetic with an eclectic, new agey twist. One of the first things one may notice about the service and products this cafe provides is that their menu displays a wide variety of vegetarian, pescatarian, and vegan options, only one of a few within the immediate area. Just by taking one look at their Instagram, you can see an abundance of amazing-looking food, some of the best food on Garfield, might I add. Knowing the demographic of one's own business plays an essential role in staying relevant within your community. I decided it would be best to hang up a flyer right on the counter by the register with a scannable QR code linking to a short 5-question survey. I figured this to be the best location to attract attention from customers. Between the counter and the door outside, I figured placing it inside would ensure that only customers of the cafe would take this survey. The data I collected from the survey was far less than I suspected from this kind of exposure. I was hoping for at least 30 answers over the course of 2 weeks. Instead, I got much less, but the patterns that arose during this process were still apparent. I believe going forward, it would be beneficial to mark several more locations within the store that I can post the survey at to attract more attention. The data I did acquire through the survey, however, showed that the majority of the patrons visiting this cafe identified as female, specifically college-educated women. As far as age goes, there was no clear correlation, which I for one see no problem with, as this shows that the cafe is pulling in business not just from the college, but from the local community members out of school as well. So what can we conclude from this information? I believe that because the cafe has a tendency to hire primarily women, this creates a great safe place for self-identifying women on Garfield that isn't usually seen otherwise. Especially after hours, as when the sun goes down, this cafe transforms into a 1920s speakeasy-esque pub with live music. Besides Forelli's, the one other bar on Garfield isn't much to talk about, to put it lightly. But I believe the Rise and Shine could really benefit from pulling even more attention from the PLU campus. As one should do whenever analyzing any business, looking at their online review presence reveals a face value rating by people who visit them. These review sites are sometimes skewed with the fact that someone is more often going to leave a review when they have thought they've had a bad experience. Unfortunately, this is just a trend with online reviews. However, in the Rise and Shine's case, there's really not been very many negative reviews for how long they've been in business. Yelp having only 16 reviews, only one of which was found to be negative. And this showed a 4.5 out of 5 rating. Google reviews, however, are much more relevant and popular of the two. This is because they are directly tied to the most popular navigational system in the nation, Google Maps. The cafe showed a 4.9 rating and over 50 positive reviews out of 53. It is only here, might I note, that it is advertised that they have different vegan, vegetarian, and pescatarian options. So what exactly could the cafe do to get better connected to the community and their demographic? By taking advantage of the resources available to the cafe being so close to campus, as well as developing a stronger presence on review sites and public media, we will work to draw in more customers that fall within their demographic. One great avenue we can look towards is advertising through student-run media on campus. A great example of this is the mass media student-run paper at PLU. Mass media is a student-driven media outlet based on the current happenings in and around the Pacific Lutheran University campus. With very little professor and staff interference, this media outlet is perfect for showing the students or anyone nearby campus that reads it that the Rise and Shine Cabaret Cafe is definitely something that they should take the time to check out and support if they haven't already. Another great example of student-run media within the Pacific Lutheran University community would be the PLU Confessions Instagram page. This is a place where students can speak out anonymously to those who follow this account about the recent happenings at PLU. Using this medium of communication, we can spread the word about the cafe and why we should be supporting it more. This is exactly what we did with this message here. With this going up on their page, we will have captured the attention, hopefully, of this account's 1,500 followers. These alternative ways of advertising and marketing have been becoming extremely popular over the last few years. These strategies have been dubbed guerrilla marketing. This is a low-cost form of advertising that utilizes alternative forms of communication to spread the message about a certain product, service, or rhetoric. It's quite unusual to think of promoting a business through this sort of medium. However, when this account's followers see this post, they don't immediately think of it as an advertisement. Instead, they only see an honest opinion of the business, which it really is. This is what makes this kind of messaging so effective. Another avenue for the Rise and Shine Cabaret Cafe to get involved with the PLU community is to explore the possibility of cross-promotion with the Diversity Center on campus. This is because I believe the cafe is a great example of queer food representation within the local community. Queer food is a rising subculture in the food and restaurant industry, one that is only going to increase in popularity in the future, I believe, and for good reason. These can range from focused efforts on the disenfranchised by a restaurant to simply being a safe space for those who need it within a local community, the latter being this cafe here. The Rise and Shine Cafe not only provides a safe place for women, but also individuals of all sexual preference and gender identity. They also support other forms of lifestyle outside of what some might call the norm. This being holistic health and spiritual well-being with their selection of CBD products and crystals. This brings us to the cross-promotional plan that I have made that the cafe could very well put into action. The first step in this process could be to put up flyers in the cafe, giving information about the resources given to students on campus at the Diversity Center. Next, we can have flyers up in the Diversity Center when campus opens back up fully, of course, giving information about events and products that the Rise and Shine Cabaret Cafe has to offer. Another thing we can look to accomplish is the occasional post on the cafe's social media about events going on pertaining to the Diversity Center. We could also work towards keeping people updated with the cafe through the Diversity Center newsletter. The possibilities for how this could benefit both the students on campus as well as our local community is immense, which is why I think this is such a good idea. Ultimately, we are not only looking to increase the number of patrons going to this establishment. Instead, we want to raise the Rise and Shine Cafe up to not only be successful, but to be the best it can be for its customers and its community as well. This is because the Rise and Shine Cafe has something for just about anyone. This business residing in a location that has infamously been unsuccessful in the past. I believe it's crucial to keep our local cafes and restaurants in business, especially in a time of such economic volatility. I believe that it is extremely important for us to help out our local businesses and community. However, this street does not just go one way. Local businesses also should hold the belief that they have an obligation to help the locals around them as well. We can all accomplish this by demonstrating our will and effort to communicate with each other and create a safe and uplifting community. Over the course of my education at PLU through the communication program, I've had the opportunity to learn about a wide variety of skills and knowledge that I will be able to carry with me throughout my future career paths and also life in general. The environments in which I completed my education have been supported by the underlying premise that one of our main goals should be to help not only those around us, but to be conscientious over everyone. This is what I believe it means to be an upstanding citizen within one's own community. This school, and this program especially, has helped me reinforce the important idea that our objective by achieving higher education should not be to simply find a job within our area of expertise, but rather to love what we do it well, and know why we do it. By taking part in this school's academic program, it has given us tools in so many facets of life that our major and minor are only just the groundworks for what we are truly capable of. This is something I believe is specific to liberal arts and holistic education alone, which is why I'm fortunate to have come here. It is because of these values instilled throughout my time here that has led to a most well-rounded education and experience that I am truly thankful for. Thank you, PLU, for such an awesome education, and thank you for listening to my presentation.